If you're a parent, you know the dreaded middle of the night ear infection. It's awful. So in the next few minutes, we're going to break down exactly what's going on, what you need to look for, and most importantly, what you can do about it. Let's get right into it.
Before we begin the video, make sure to like and subscribe for more good quality, trusted medical videos.
Oh man, does this scene look familiar? It's 3 in the morning, your child is just beside themselves, pointing at their ear, and you feel totally and completely helpless. It's just a stressful, exhausting, and honestly a heartbreaking experience for any parent. Well, if you've been there, I want you to know you are so not alone. Millions of parents go through this exact thing, and the culprit usually has a fancy medical name, otitis media. I know, it sounds super complicated, but it's really not. It's just an infection of the middle ear, and we're about to make it super simple to understand. So, the big question is, why? Why does this happen, and why does it seem to happen so often to our little ones? Understanding the cause is really the first step to getting ahead of the problem. So let's pull back the curtain on that earache. Okay, so what is otitis media? At its core, it's an infection right behind the eardrum. I want you to think of that space as a tiny air-filled room that suddenly gets unwanted guests. And what opens the door for these guests? Usually, it's something as simple as a common cold, a bout of the flu, or even just seasonal allergies. So here's how it all goes down. It's basically a chain reaction. First, your kid gets a simple cold, which causes some swelling. Now this blocks a tiny little channel called the eustachian tube. It connects the ear to the back of the throat. And here's the key. In kids, this tube is smaller and flatter, so it gets blocked way more easily. Once it's blocked, fluid gets stuck behind the eardrum, and it becomes this perfect, warm, cozy little home for bacteria to grow. And boom, that's when the infection and all that pain really kicks in. It's really easy to think, okay, it's just an earache, it'll pass. But here's the thing. Ignoring these, especially if they keep coming back, can lead to some pretty serious issues down the road. This is about more than just a bad night's sleep. First up, all that fluid we were just talking about. It can physically block sound from getting through correctly. This can actually cause temporary hearing loss, making the whole world sound kind of muffled and underwater to your child. And that leads directly to the next big concern. I mean, think about it. If a child can't hear clearly for weeks or months at a time, how are they supposed to learn to say words correctly? It can cause real delays in their speech and even affect their learning later on. Hearing is just so fundamental to their development. Right, so as all that fluid and infection builds up, so does the pressure. It just builds and builds. In some really bad cases, that pressure can get so intense that it actually causes a small tear in the eardrum. Now, these usually heal on their own, but it's a major complication you definitely want to avoid if you can. Okay, so just to recap, we're looking at potential hearing loss, speech and learning delays, and even a ruptured eardrum. Now, that last point on the list, I want to be really clear, it is very rare, but it's important to know that in extreme, untreated cases, an infection can spread. This isn't meant to scare you, it's just to show why it's so important to take action. Okay, enough of the doom and gloom. Let's talk about the solution. Because the great news is that treatments are super effective, and you have a really clear action plan with proven options. So for a typical one-off infection, the game plan is usually pretty straightforward. Antibiotics from the doctor to kill the bacteria, and some medicine to manage that immediate pain and fever. But what if these infections are your family's recurring nightmare? For those chronic cases, specialists have this amazing and very common solution. A super minor procedure to pop in a tiny tube called a grommet. All it does is let that trapped fluid drain out so the ear can finally breathe and heal properly. So, when do you act? What's your cue? It's really simple. If you see those key signs, your child is complaining about ear pain, they've got a fever, or you just notice they aren't hearing you as well as usual, don't wait and see. It's time to see an ear, nose, and throat specialist, or an ENT. Getting on top of it early is absolutely everything. And really, that's the bottom line. Taking that small step to get a proper diagnosis and treatment, it's not just about ending one sleepless night. It's about protecting your child's hearing, their development, and their overall future. It truly is a small step for a much safer future.
Before we begin the video, make sure to like and subscribe for more good quality trusted medical videos.